This is a really controversial topic. I might switch doctors again. I'm already thinking about the comments I'm gonna get in this video because it's like, people are very uninformed about a lot of things. I'm speaking from the heart, I have good intentions, whatever. Okay. Hello guys, it's Christina Cimorelli. Welcome back to my second channel. You probably know me from my main channel, Cimorelli, the band I'm in with my sisters. On this channel, I go into depth about like my personal life and pregnancy, motherhood mostly, and other stuff as well. But right now, it's pregnancy central because I am pregnant. So that's all I want to talk about right now. You know, so today, as you can see, I'm going to tell you guys things I'm doing different this pregnancy and some things that I'm going to do the same. Basically, I'm looking back and seeing my regrets from pregnancy. When I said that, I was picturing the meme with R-A-G-R-E-T-S and things that I thought were smart and things I'm like, nope. I just learned so much between my pregnancy and then my sisters going through pregnancy and birth. It's just, I have learned so much. It's a huge blessing. So I have a lot. And I'm actually gonna be showing some shots of me exercising, doing some of my workouts that I have during pregnancy, which I feel like I've never shown before because this video is sponsored by Copilot, which I'll talk about later. So I'm really excited. You're gonna wanna see that. So let's get into the video. All right, things I'm doing or did differently. So let's go to the first trimester. My morning sickness was horrendous again, but there is one big thing that I did really different that really helped. So I learned about, where did I learn this? Okay, I feel like I can't quote the facts on this, so I'm just gonna riff here, but I learned about how important protein is in pregnancy, especially, well, not especially, but in the first trimester, protein can help with your blood sugar or something, I don't know. And if you're low on protein, it can make things worse is the major key here. So my last pregnancy is actually my second. I didn't know that. And all I craved was like carbs and basically no protein. And that's all I ate. And I would feel worse sometimes a lot of times after eating. And I just feel horrible all the time. So this time, I was still the same, just craving like carb kind of foods, but I found foods that were higher in protein that still gave me the same carb vibes, like strawberry Greek yogurt, what is it? Kodiak, I think it is. Protein kind of crackers, kind of like animal crackers in a way. Things like that. Peanut butter and celery and raisins. And actually, there's not that many more foods than this I ate. Greek yogurt ice cream bars in chocolate, kind of like a fudgesicle. Well, it is just like a fudgesicle. Yeah, those things all had more protein than a lot of things I was eating. I was eating like cereal that had like 0 grams of protein basically. And if I wanted cereal, I tried to find a cereal that actually had protein in it. So by doing that, I actually would feel a bit better when I was eating and I definitely wouldn't feel worse. I could feel, last time, it was just like this like horrible feeling when I was eating. Like I don't know, now looking back, I can tell it was making it worse. So this time I did not make it worse. And I am very happy about that. I will definitely continue that next pregnancy. You know what's weird? Most people only have 2 kids. So most people would be like, oh, this is my last pregnancy, blah, blah, blah. And they wouldn't be talking about next pregnancy. How weird. Anyway, moving on. Okay, my birth plan. This is different than last time for sure. And it's so annoying. I have way more restrictions now. So that's really annoying. But basically last time, I think I did a lot of research. I had a lot of ideas, a lot of plans, but I think I didn't really take it as seriously as I'm taking it now. I'm taking it so seriously now because I'm hoping I'll be able to have VBAC. There's a lot. Okay, there's my high-risk doctor is still figuring out the whole stuff, all the stuff with my blood clotting disorders, and if he even thinks I need blood thinners. I didn't see him last time. So this is a weird plot twist. But there's that. There's the fact that I had a placental abruption last time, and there's the fact that I had an emergency C-section the last time. So those factors are all changing things a lot. It's not the same as if I had just had a not super eventful pregnancy and birth and then like I had a C-section but none of the other stuff. So now that I know that I might not have the option of vaginal birth, which I wasn't really ever considering before, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am taking this so seriously. And because I want a lot of kids, that can be really difficult to have a bunch of C-sections, which I know some people who have, but there are some risks, some really bad ones when you get like farther like into more C-sections. And some doctors, I think, refuse to do more than like to take on a patient if they want more than a certain amount of C-sections as well. And then there's the other thing of, if you don't get a vaginal birth after your first C-section, you're way less likely to find a doctor who will take you on to try after you've had 2 C-sections. It's not impossible to find, but it's harder to find, especially if you're high risk and you can't get a midwife, me. So that's a whole situation. So birth plan, this time I'm taking very, very seriously. I have so many more opinions than I did last time. I had a lot of opinions last time, but after seeing Catherine and Lisa's birth experiences, that opened my eyes so much. It's weird because you hear birth stories from friends, and I don't know, for some reason the birth stories from friends didn't really like hit me and teach me quite as much as my sisters, because I was like right there in the moment getting updates about every little detail. I can ask my sisters about every little detail, and I just learned so much, and it just like strengthened my convictions basically. I know this is a really controversial topic of birth in general, labor, birth. I mean, everything motherhood related is controversial, but it's really controversial because I find women tend to be on like more of one side or another, and there's like really passionate, kind of angry people on both sides. And I am definitely on the natural side, which people even get mad about using that word, natural. People are even like, don't even say a C-section is not natural. From my personal experience, I don't want to call my C-section natural. It didn't feel natural to me, and I don't want to call it that. But other people are like, oh, if you say that, then you're like hurting women or something. I don't know. I don't really agree with that. I don't think it hurts me in that way. Maybe it hurts someone else in that way, but yeah, I'm not going to go with that. My point is, I respect women and their birthing experiences and decisions. Of course, I respect everyone. I'm not just going to not respect people. And I respect the fact that you have lots of choices when you're pregnant, and you should make the choices that you are, well, this is my view on this. You should make well-informed choices, and they should be made with informed consent, not coercion from any medical professionals, which is a problem. I've been getting into a lot of that lately. It's just wild, guys. So anyway, I'm on the very natural side of things, but I'm a very high risk, or I'm a somewhat high risk patient, woman, mother, I don't know. So it presents a lot of challenges. So my birth plan this time, I think I'm gonna do a whole video about my birth plan because I haven't nailed down everything at this point. Well, kind of have them, but I just want to do everything with the least amount of interventions possible. A lot of people get mad if you say as natural as possible. I think it's offensive. So many things are offensive. But anyway, I want the least amount of interventions humanly possible, but I have a lot of things I have to look out for. So there's a lot of risk assessment going on here. And before, it was like I prepared for my birth and my birth plan and everything, whatever, or birth preferences, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know, it's almost like I just didn't take it as seriously because I was like, I just took it for granted that, wait, do you say I took it for granted that I wouldn't or I would? I took it for granted. I just thought that, the chances are I'm going to have vaginal birth, duh. So like, whatever, I'm sure it'll be fine, basically. And now I'm like, no, the chances right now are not that. Maybe, maybe not. I got to take this really serious. I got to do everything I can. And then it's just, the rest is just out of my hands, but I got to do everything that I can so I can feel like I did what is important to me. And those choices were respected. That's my main value at this point. Huge thing I'm doing differently this time is actually exercising. So last time I went on walks a lot, but also I got really hot, of course, and it's in the summer. I'm the same time on this time. I'm due like 3 days before I was due last time. So it's like the same pregnancy basically. But I wouldn't like start my walks early in the morning, like early enough. And I'd be like, oh, it's really hot. I got to stop my walk. Okay, it's going to be short today. Whereas now I live a very different life with a toddler, and I get up earlier than before every single day, and I get going earlier every day because I have no choice, because he gets going. I can't just not get going with my day. So getting out the door for a walk at like 7:30 is a very doable thing now that I did not do last time. And then I wanted to do workouts like strengthening things and flexibility and all these things that are really important, mobility. I didn't know how important they were though until now. I wanted to do those things, but I could not find the motivation. Like, I have so many memories of me going up where I work out and getting in there and then being like, I don't want to do this. I don't feel like it. It was like, what's the point? I will tell you what the point is. So because I didn't do that, once I got to postpartum, I was so weak. I think I had lost a lot of muscle, and doing like daily tasks it was very hard, and it was very demoralizing and depressing. Like, it really added to my mental health struggles to not be able to do normal things. And then when I got to the point where it was like, I'm getting down on the ground with my baby, Barrett, and then I'm trying to get up and I can barely get up. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not something I've ever experienced before. This is not something I want. I am so weak right now and I hate this. So what I'm doing this time, my plan is I'm working with Copilot, which I did postpartum. I've been using Copilot. It's an app that connects you with your own coach who gives you workouts, and they're like in the app. I'll show you how it works. And it just makes working out really easy. Like, you don't have to think about it, and you don't have to like find the motivation and organize things and figure out what you're doing. It's like right there. And when you sign up, you do an onboarding call. I'm gonna put a clip of my onboarding call with my current coach in here. So I've been working with them since like August, I think, like 7 months. In my postpartum journey, I used Copilot, the app, with my trainer. It's not you're using the app so much as you're having a coach, like a personal trainer, a coach you through everything, who's there to personalize your workouts and like give you feedback and adjust things for you and like help you come up with a plan, like a personalized plan. It's a one-on-one thing. So I worked with them in my postpartum experience, and I saw crazy results with my strength. When I started, I like couldn't even do one push-up, and then by the end I was doing push-ups. I could barely get off the ground. I could easily get off the ground. I could barely do like really simple exercises, and I was like really sad when I started. I was like, am I ever gonna be able to do anything again? And I had amazing results. The reason, I think, is because I didn't have to be like motivated to do it. Somehow knowing that there's someone on the other end of this app who's like making these workouts for me and who's like there for me to help me out and making like customized plan for me, that was really motivating. And then being able to like see like every day of the week and like, okay, here's my workout today, here's my workout today. That just made it so easy to actually do. And then because of that, I have done the most amount of like consistent workouts in the last 7 months that I've ever done in my entire life, I would say. Before, I would like work out for like 3 weeks, I think. And then I would be like, okay, I'm done. And then I would stop, and then I would stop for like a couple months, and then I would get back on it. And it was like hard for me to go more than a couple weeks for some reason. But with Copilot, I don't have that problem anymore. So I didn't really work out much in the first trimester, of course, felt like trash, but I started again the second trimester, and I'm back on it. And I'm already just like shocking myself that thinking about last pregnancy, I feel the exact same, okay? And now I have a toddler, and yet I'm actually making the time to work out because I want to, and I feel accomplished. I have a plan. I'm not stressed about it. And you get to choose the coach. They give you like options. You get to choose one that you feel like you resonate with. And if you don't like them, you can switch to a different one. Now, I do have a special offer for you guys. You can use my link and get 14 days free. So I really encourage you guys, try it out. Use my link, get 14 days free, see what you think of it. Just try it. you may fall in love with it like me, and this could be the thing that you need to actually be consistent in your fitness journey. This could be it for you. If you're struggling and you're like, I'm so disappointed. I feel like I can never be motivated enough and I don't know how to keep up with things. I don't know what to do. It's stressful trying to figure out what to do. Like, how do I adjust this workout for my knee pain? How do I do this? How do I do that? I had that problem. I had like some pain in my knee. My coach helped me with. Now I have like certain things with pregnancy. Once again, helping me with that. You don't need to have access to a gym to do this. You don't need any special equipment like that. You can work, they'll work with you on like what would be ideal and like make a plan that works for you. So I would say if this sounds like you, if you're someone who like really wants to be consistent with exercise and you want to like achieve your goals, but you feel like it's hard to plan and be motivated and all that, this could be the perfect thing for you. Click my link. Get a 14-day free trial. Just try it for free. See if you like it. Just give it a try. I mean, you have nothing to lose. Do a free trial. Just give it a try. You're probably gonna love it. I'm obsessed with it. I'm literally obsessed with it. I just think it's so worth it because health is like one of the most important things. So if this could be the answer to your problems and this could be like what actually gets you to stick to a plan, I just think it's so worth it. Give it a try, 14 days free, see what you think. I'm really curious, just go for the free trial. Okay, next thing, along the same lines of what I was talking about with birth plan, doctor choice. This is different this time. So I switched doctors this time because I'm intentionally looking for a VBAC friendly doctor, not a VBAC tolerant doctor. I'm just so curious, like, I don't know. I'm already thinking about the comments I'm gonna get in this video because it's like, people are very uninformed about a lot of things and they just love to talk about them. And then people are very angry about a lot of things. They love to talk about them. But I don't know. Whenever I post something, I'm like thinking about the comments from like, don't think about the comments. Don't do disclaimers about every last thing and just speak. But then I'm like, oh, but I don't want to come across as dumb and I don't want to come across as this, that, and the other thing and offensive and blah, blah. But it's like, I'm speaking from the heart. I have good intentions. Whatever. Okay. So I switched doctors looking for a VBAC friendly doctor and I might switch doctors again because I've been really grilling my doctor lately and I'm not super happy with some of the things he's saying. I don't know if he's actually VBAC friendly or if he's just VBAC tolerant. If you're in the VBAC community, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, I'll tell you. There are doctors who will tolerate the idea of VBACs, but they're not really like super excited about it. So they're not really necessarily going to give you their full support. And from what I have researched, you really need the full support. You really need, I hear my son growling downstairs, like really loud. I can tell he's playing with babysitter, like some game where he's scaring her. Anyway, you really need a provider who is VBAC supportive, who's really supporting you through it if you want your best chances. Otherwise, you're like fighting against them every step of the way, and that's not what I want. So I'm just weighing these pros and cons, and I wouldn't have thought about this before. I'd be like, oh, I can't switch doctors. But now I'm like, yeah, I can. If I need to find, like, I'm gonna do a consultation with a whole different place, different hospital and everything. It's crazy, but I'm gonna do a consultation there. And if I get like a really good gut feeling and they answer all my questions in a way that makes a lot more sense than my current doctor, I will be switching. And I'm excited because I just want to feel like I'm with someone who's really evidence-based and really supportive. Because everything that I'm going off of is evidence-based. Yeah, I would say basically everything with, you know, a dash of mother's intuition, a healthy dash of that, and faith in God. But really, I'm very about evidence-based everything. Okay, so preparation for giving birth. I did a lot of prep last time, but I'm doing more informed preparation this time. There's a lot of things that I couldn't even have ever thought of that I now know of that I should do to prep. So I don't know, from my sisters, once again, their experiences, and then like from meeting people, like I met my neighbor, she had a home birth and she was telling me about this course. I haven't done it yet, so I don't want to endorse it yet, but she's telling me a course that she took to learn about like pain management. It's really like reasonably priced too. So I will let you guys know about that. Another course company just reached out to me as well. I'm going to see how their course is as well. If it's great, I'm going to suggest that one also. But I'm doing courses for like pain management and like mental, like getting your mental game right. Because everything that I feel like everyone who's given birth tells me, it's about your mental state. It's so mental is what everyone says. I didn't labor much at all. I labored for like 1 hour, barely, in like early labor with Barrett. So I don't even have that experience really. I guess I have the experience of, it's different, but my miscarriage was hours of like contractions. So I did that experience. It was very painful, but it's not the same thing because you don't have a big baby in there. But that's my experience. So I don't have this experience. I'm just going off of things I've heard. But yeah, I'll be doing a lot more courses in prep this time. And then physically, I'm doing chiropractor, which I did last time. But I'm also doing a lot more like mobility, flexibility kind of work. I really learned a lot about the pelvis, the pelvic floor, one of my favorite topics, and how important it is to keep it mobile. So I have another program that's for pregnancy that I'm doing for like pregnancy. It's kind of like stretches and poses and things, and like spinning babies along those lines. Spinning Babies, if you know what that is. Spinning Babies is a website that has all these different, or maybe Spinning Babies is it is a website, but maybe it's more of a method. I don't know. Of all these different helpful positions during labor and birth, and then also exercises, activities, position type of things during pregnancy to get your body prepped for labor. So I have been looking into so much of that, and I'm incorporating a lot more of that than I did last time. I don't think I really understood what to do like physically to get my body in the best place. And now I think I have a better understanding of, because I've been following these accounts on Instagram that really explain like the anatomy, the physiology, and like how things actually work. So I'm like, oh, this ligament and this part of your pelvis and this and this and this need to work in these ways. Therefore, if I do these things, I'm actually supporting that and helping that. Whereas before I was like, I don't quite get how these things will change anything. And I think a lot of women think like that. It's like you just go to the hospital and lay on your back and give birth. But there's a lot more to it than that. And a lot of sources say being on your back is oftentimes one of the worst positions you can be in because of your pelvis and closing things off, and all this can lead to complications. Then it's like, why would everyone be doing that? If it's the best, why would hospitals have us do that? That's a whole other rabbit hole to go down that I'm not going to go into. That's a controversial, again, type of thing. But you know, the more natural minded women watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Everyone else, you know what I'm talking about. Some people do know what I'm talking about and are mad about it, so we're just not going to go into it right now. Okay, the amount of time I work before giving birth. Last time I went until 37 weeks, and then I gave birth at 38 and a half weeks. That was good for me. That was not bad. I'm guessing I'll go about the same amount of time again, but we'll see. If something happens at a pregnancy, I'm in like horrifying pain, I can't do anything, obviously I'm stuck. But yeah, I'm planning on kind of the same thing. Okay, next thing, the amount that I share on the internet. I'm actually sharing more this time. When I do things for the first time, I often get really like nervous and kind of paranoid about it, and then I like don't want to share too much. I don't know, I don't want to like look like an idiot, but it's kind of annoying. Like when Lisa was pregnant, my sister Lisa was pregnant, she was sharing all this stuff that I was like, oh, I would never share that. And then I'm like, why not? Like, why am I so freaked out by people's opinions of like, oh, you did this wrong, or what about this or that? I don't know. Input is really annoying sometimes. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's just really annoying. Especially the way that people word things sometimes can be like really weird. But I am just so much more confident now because I've learned so much, and I've already been through a pregnancy and a half, not really, pregnancy and 8 weeks of a pregnancy, my first miscarried baby. And I don't know, I'm just way more confident now in my decisions and my opinions. I've just researched so much. It's kind of scary, but this is like one of my biggest passions. Can't really help it. So yeah, I'm sharing a lot more this time. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you guys some things I'm doing the same as last time to wrap up this video. Researching everything like crazy. I was just living on like forums and groups and YouTube channels and Instagram people, and I'm doing that again, and I love it. It's really helpful to me to learn as much as I can and to like dispel all these rumors and myths that have been out there for years with actual evidence-based things. And it just helps to undo guys, I just think, my opinion is that there are so many unhelpful, wrong, harmful practices and opinions out there that are accepted as like good. They're just mainstream. They're accepted as totally fine, acceptable, healthy, great for women, that I believe, based on the evidence I have found, are really harmful and that women don't deserve to have to go through. Now that's a controversial thing that I won't go into this video. Maybe I will do a video about it. I don't know. Thank goodness there's a lot of people speaking out about this stuff, but the more that I research, the more I'm just like, such a disservice to women. Women deserve better. So I just feel more and more empowered the more that I learn. And of course, I'm watching lots of positive birth stories like last time. Same thing. I'm having a doula again. My doula last time didn't really get to do much because I had an emergency C-section and then that was it. But she stayed with me after the C-section for like a couple hours. I literally held her hand for like a really long time. I didn't even know her. Like I hadn't met her yet. Like we'd only talked on Zoom. So it was my first time meeting her, but I was very much out of it from all the drugs and whatnot. And I was just like holding her hand. It was wild. Another thing I'm doing the same is involving Nick a lot. I read all this stuff, learn all this stuff, and then I tell Nick like everything. I'm like, oh, Nick, I just heard this birth story. This thing happened. Can you believe it? And I just learned that doctors say this, but this is this and that is that, whatever. Or I just learned about this law that is this. I just tell him everything I learn, everything I read, everything I watch, so that he's really informed, because he's going to be like my advocate, especially when I'm like out of it, laboring, fingers crossed, laboring, not having C-section, laboring, and he's gonna be there like, so I can be in the zone and he can be the one advocating for me. He needs to really know what is up. I've seen in a lot of situations, your birth partner, aka Nick for me, can really make a big difference, negative or positive, if they don't quite understand like what you're going for and they're not on the same page as you and they're not informed. They'll just kind of go with the flow and can even say really harmful things by accident. So that ain't gonna happen. Nick is totally on the same page and we've watched things together. We talk about things all the time and he's just, I just feel so lucky. He is so supportive and amazing and so on the same page as me. It is amazing. Last thing I'm gonna do the same that I was very happy I did last time was, I don't know what to describe this as, but I like made the decision that I really wanted to stay, I don't know what the word is, like limber. I don't know. I really wanted to still be able to do things like tie my shoes and shave my legs and pick things up off the floor, which especially is important now that I have a toddler. I don't know why in the beginning I was like, well, yeah, I'm someone who really values like freedom and autonomy and whatever, being able to do things myself, which, you know, really kind of screwed me over in postpartum, really contributed to my depression, anxiety. But anyway, doesn't matter. For this, it was fun. I really value those things. And when I got pregnant, I was like, I do not want to be like, oh, I can't tie my shoe, or I can't shave my legs, or I can't pick this up off the floor. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like not able to do things. So I just kept pulling my legs out wider and wider as my stomach got bigger, to shave or tie my shoe. And I kept just squatting down. You don't want to like bend over like that can like hurt your back and it's just not ideal. I just kept squatting, like very low squats to pick things up throughout all of pregnancy. Even if it didn't feel like I really like needed to, I just kept doing that. I know squatting is good anyway for pregnancy. And yeah, by the end of pregnancy, those muscles, those were some of the few muscles that I still had at the end of pregnancy, because that was one thing I did consistently. it was very easy for me to squat down, pick things up with a giant 38-week stomach, and I could still tie my shoes easily. I could still shave. I could still do all of it. I'm definitely still gonna do that same thing, have a same mindset. The only thing I'm adding is my posture, because guys, so many things. The way that we like sit and walk and stand and do activities, daily activities, affects how our body, different things in our body, like I said, ligaments, muscles, other things I don't even know about, and how aligned you are for the baby to like get into position and whatnot. So if you're like constantly doing things like on one side, you can kind of get things out of whack in your body, which is not going to help you at all in labor and delivery. So I have been working on a lot of daily things, like being aware of how I am and trying to be symmetrical with things. Yeah, I feel like when I say these things, I'm like, some people are probably gonna be like, what are you talking about? And then some people are like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. But I'm like, the people who don't know what I'm talking about and who are like, she's doing way too much. Not really my people. Not my people, but I need to not think about them in their comments. Yeah, I've been like saying my thoughts to you guys aloud in this video a lot about commenters and whatnot. I don't know why, I just want to let you in a little bit. Anyway, that's the video. I know that was long, but I had a lot to say. I love this video. I love what I said in this video. And I just want to remind you again, my Copilot link is in the description, and you can use that link and get a 14-day free trial, which I suggest. Guys, it's free. Try it. See if you like it. I just think everyone would love this, and I feel like most people struggle with this. So if you want to try something new, here's your chance for free. You don't have to pay. Free. Try it. Give it a try. See what you think. I'm excited to take this whole Copilot journey in pregnancy and then to start postpartum with it this time. I didn't get connected with them until later in postpartum, so I'm just really excited to see how postpartum is different now that I actually have my coach. All right, many more videos are coming up because, as I said, I'm sharing a lot more this pregnancy. I have so much planned. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.